So multinational corporations, जिसको हम basically MNCs भी कहते हैं in short. So you can actually use this abbreviation once you write the bigger uh, the full form. So the first thing you should be able to define is what's an MNC. So I'll say an MNC, multinational corporation, is a firm that produces slash operates and sell in many countries. Only selling is not enough. They have one headquarter country. Example, Nestle. Nestle's headquarter is in Switzerland. ठीक हो गया. So they make many products. They have shareholders all across the world. They're producing many types of products. They have a lot of dominance in it. So ये तुम्हारा एक basic multinational का idea है. उसके बाद you should be able to discuss certain advantages. When a company becomes a multinational, what kind of advantages would they have? Now I'm talking in terms of the company. एक company को क्या क्या फायदे हैं to become an MNC? Remember one thing, पहले उनको एक product Pakola has to produce in Pakistan and then it sells in the United States of America. So basically पहले पाकोला को एक्सपोर्ट करने के लिए वहाँ पे import duties लगती हैं उसके ऊपर, but once if they start producing in whatever country they're selling large quantities, they don't have to pay those duties anymore. So they can just simply sell there as a local competitive product. So one of the advantages an MNC has is that they have an opportunity to sell in global markets without duties. That's a big advantage. They can have access to natural resources across the world, खास तौर पे if they don't have that in their own country, so now they can go in other countries and they can use those natural resources and export them to other countries where they have other operations as well. They can even have access to cheaper labor that can make their product more competitive. Multinationals have less chances to go bankrupt because their operations is too large. They have so many variety of products and large markets, they can easily move the product around. साथ ही में you save on transportation. That can lower the costs. So that's a good advantage also. And since you are operating on such a large scale, You can have large research and development, and you can spend large amount of money in this also for new products. You have to be careful कि questions जो वो दे रहे हैं, have they asked a question about कि MNCs को क्या फ़ायदा है, या एक कंपनी को MNC बनने का क्या फ़ायदा है, या जिस कंट्री में MNC आ रही है उसको क्या फ़ायदा है. They are two different things. So if I was to write like advantages, इसको host country कहते हैं, जिस country के अंदर MNC जाके establish हो रही होती है उसको host country कहते हैं. Now the advantage to the host country could be, number one, you're going to get foreign investments. Into the country, so that's a good thing. Number two, employment creation जब MNC आएगी. Number three could be they can transfer technology into the country and new ways of doing things. For example, I remember back in the day, when I was very young, before even McDonald's and KFC came into Pakistan, the restaurant chain, the fast food restaurant chain that we had, they had very limited operations in terms of उनका cash register, उनका पीछे का पूरा system, उनके SOPs, operational procedures and all of that, and the equipment that they had was very like localized and stuff. And when McDonald's and KFC came in, it sort of like made a baseline ke ab at least you have to have this kind of like a fryer and this kind of operation processes behind and this type of cash register. So वो automatically उसके all around all businesses started adopting that technology because that was much more better. Your labor training and skill level rises, so definitely that's also a good thing which the country is going to face. And then lastly, since it's operating in the country, government को अच्छे tax revenues भी मिलेंगे, तो those are all the good for the host countries. But on the other hand, obviously there are disadvantages to the host countries of having a multinational corporation in the country. One of the issues could be that multinationals usually are not small. Like, for example, if you talk about McDonald's का जो output है globally, the value of business that they are doing, apparently it's bigger than Pakistan की पूरी GDP से, the size of their business in monetary terms. So that would say that multinationals can be too large. In fact, I think it's a fuzul ka correlation, just a fun joke sort of a correlation. But it's to quite an extent an overwhelming situation. कि they say that जिन countries के अंदर McDonald's है, those countries don't have serious wars in them, civil wars or इस तरह के issues. They don't face issues like that. They have good relations. I don't know to what extent. Correlation क्या होता है? Mathematically they see कि अच्छा जी ये countries हैं जिनके पास McDonald's हैं और इतनी countries हैं जो conflict में है. The percentage is overwhelming. The countries with McDonald's in them don't have serious conflicts as such. So we may say that these multinationals may be too large, that these multinationals can be too large for local firms to compete with in terms of price, in terms of what they're paying to the labor. So they can force them out of business. उसके अलावा multinationals can really exploit the country's cheaper labor or cheap labor and interfere in governments' decisions. Then they may leave if not profitable. So they will not care. They're going to just pick their operations and they're going to move to some other country where they might be able to have that. They are accused that they may switch between profits to avoid टैक्सेस, बिकॉज वो मल्टानेशनल है तो यहाँ का टैक्स उधर, उधर के ऑपरेशंस उधर दूसरी जगहों पे मूव कर दे। जिन कंट्रीज़ के अंदर कम टैक्सेशंस होते हैं वहाँ पे सर्टन ऑपरेशंस को ऑपरेट करे, एंड देन ऑब्वियसली दे विल नॉट हैव टू पे एवरीवन। फिर उसके अलावा वी माइट इवन सजेस्ट समथिंग लाइक that many countries have different tastes, requirements, and legal standards, which makes production costly.